path. And I made sure I left no trace. Some might say I took it a bit too far, and I may have, but it was either that or becoming prey to the presence of the past. I'm sure you've all felt it before, how insatiable the memory of demons is. Much like the appetite of an empty page staring you back, pen lingering in hand, with nothing to formulate. I'm sure you've all felt it before, how words have the privilege of falling short when thoughts in your head collapse into a symphony of dissonance. And yet, it's words we seek to vomit when the processing of poison becomes too much. We splatter them on walls of ears wide shut, of eyes unseeing, in hope that we will manage to catch a pause that occasionally disrupts the epidemic of indifference. And when we do, when our truth in all its see-through glory makes it to the other side, then they call us dangerous. Dangerous, us, for the audacity to remove tight shoes, to walk barefoot, staining their convenient ground with the results of the splinters and thorns they spread on our path. I still remember the day she fixed her eye on my blood red nails as my finger was raised high in the sky. I knew she thought me dangerous, and I wish I could explain that this is only how I can say which way the wind blows ever since the day I was forced to kneel with my mane in somebody's hand, and now my hair is always tied up. It's people like us who become eyewitnesses to their own fates. We let paint drip from our fingertips, we turn it into fuel for movement, and every now and then we stop. Where do we go? Where do we go from here? We clasp the terrestrial globe with both hands. We shake, we spin, we sniff, we search with a magnifying lens, trying to spot the source of the abscess. The sting of the sting is crawling on our wrists, but still we stick our tongue within with a desire to heal. If the world is rotten, then we all are, I told her once. She called me dangerous and asked, what are we doing when we're doing what we don't want to be doing? I said we perform life. On the top of the hill, there's always a home with windows constantly open and doors firmly locked. Where as a child I dreamt that I lived. It seemed quite safe there, future-proof. She stared deep in my eye. I read her concern. No, I'm not afraid, I said. You cannot interrupt the intensity of rain. But we live in a land of drought, her response. What are you on about? It called me dangerous. Of course, she wouldn't know what it means for your screams to remain unheard, covered by the ground of the night, falling on you full weight, its compact darkness the perfect screen for the specters of your past to line by the hundreds holding hands, their sinister laughter breaking the silence like you should have, every time you chose not to speak up. And for every little thing that to them appears strange, they call us dangerous. Dangerous, us who learn how to sway by observing the sea after getting hit by one too many blast waves. Dangerous, us who are found bent and face down on the ground, pulling and pulling our roots. I should know, I've been pulling and pulling for so long, my roots deeper than Hades, my arms almost torn. For ages, I had to mold myself into whatever I was told. My identity formed before I was born, and no matter how well I complied, my end of the deal delivered spot on, still never enough. I had to let go. I had to cut the cord. I cut the roots, I cut me loose. Guess what? Dangerous, I was called. But this time I smiled. This time, I raised my finger up high, and this time, it was tailwind. So yeah, it was pale, the flame that lit my path. But it was enough to leave no trace. As I set my life ablaze under the soundtrack of hissing snakes and footsteps, too close for comfort. We know the name. We know the game. We have been trained to meet their expectations of us. So, dangerous, they call us? Dangerous, we become.